So, welcome to the Bear Culture Film Festival. I'm nervous, but at the same time, excited. We've sold out, so.
Harvey is here with Jack Ward.
And James Jump.
Yeah, it's for real.
Hi, my name's India Jones, and my film tonight is Monster and Me.
I'm Connor Bailey.
No comment.
Midnight Cruiser, aka Goodfellas 2. They already know, so you can just say Midnight Cruiser again.
Midnight Cruiser again.
Hi, so my name is Jack Shrimpton, and I directed Pigeonhole that's going to be showed tonight.
My name is Fabian Nowak, and I was the producer for the film Maddie.
I'm Harrison J, and I was the director of photography for Maddie.
The film's called Jumpers for Goalposts. I'm Cameron Brown, the director of photography for it.
Hello, so my name's Thomas Elliott Griffiths, and I'm the writer and director of Jumpers for Goalposts.
My name's Katie Brown, and I directed and starred in Mondays, which was a student project, my first ever film.
I'm joined with.
I am Ben Edwards.
So, unfortunately, one of our filmmakers couldn't attend tonight, so he'll be filling in, reading his message. So, who are you reading for, and what's the film about, and what film?
So I'm reading for Charlie Williams. His film's called My Journey. It was originally just called My Journey. It was for a university module, but over time he's revisited it and gone back to it and changed it over time, and he's just created a really personal masterpiece to him. Hello, I hope you're all well. I'm really sorry I couldn't make it tonight. I managed to watch all your films and I absolutely loved all of them. Big up to Bear Culture getting all this together. I think you're all boss. I'm really sorry I forgot to write any of this on the paper today. Have a great night and enjoy My Journey. Love, the Scrawny Nan. Kiss, kiss.
Having to work with James Trump for 3 months, whilst also worrying about people not submitting films. To you, James.
I mean, I had a similar one with the submitting films. I'm working with Jack Ward, but I think the biggest problem was the filmmakers actually sending over the film, the posters, because some haven't.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I'd say space was definitely an issue because of the size of the flat. It was just my flat at university, and the room is very, very small. So sort of like it was difficult trying to get the angles I wanted because of how big the tripod was. But I kind of like fixed that. Luckily, I had a small balcony that you're not meant to go out onto because it's kind of like just like a window ledge. So I kind of got onto the ledge and was having to film from the window at some point. But I felt like it was the only way to sort of utilize the space. And I think probably one of my other issues was, just getting people together to do something for free. Like it was a very small budget. And, not a lot of people can dedicate so much time to something they're not getting any, like, monetary value from. But no, luckily I had, like, a great team of people, so it all worked out in the end.
Story-wise, it wasn't that big of a problem. We just came up with the plot, like, on the go, because we were thinking that horror that's actually horror, and if it ends badly, is gonna be fun. But the problems we faced was, in the middle of a shooting, our actor got rid of his beard, and so we had to wait like 2 weeks for him to regrow it, and we were short on time for our deadline, but we managed. I think you can see it, but we will see if the audience notices anything.
We should talk about the location as well. So we filmed in a youth hostel called the Embassy, and the guy who owned it, his name was Keverton. So his name was Kevin, but because he loves Everton football team that much, he had his name legally changed to Keverton, and that was the owner of the location's real name. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll talk about the lighting because like I was in like March, wasn't it? We were filming and it was just like every like 10 seconds it would change from like sun to cloud, and like it just kept changing like every 10 seconds. So we at one stage we were just like putting like sort of diffuser boards up, and then when like the sun came through, and then when it disappeared, we were taking them away, and just like we had to keep like alternating them, and it was quite frustrating, but definitely learnt a lot, like shooting in sort of daylight conditions like that. You learnt a lot for the future, for sure.
Yeah, and on top of that as well with the lighting, first of all, it was obviously like struggling with the sun coming in and out from behind the clouds, and then because that would eat up so much time, we found ourselves fighting the sunlight going down. Like, you only had a certain amount of time to get the shots, and because obviously we're a low budget film production, and therefore the actors and the crew really had to like hone in 110% to make sure we got the rest of the film shot as the sun's going down. So in some of the film you might be able, if you go back through the film, you could probably see where we had to shoot it in golden hour, because it was literally like once that sun's gone, like the film's done. So it's very tense, but like Cameron said, it was a great learning experience.
So Pigeonholed is a sort of mockumentary that we made as a university assignment, and it's about a group of filmmakers who are trying to make a documentary about pigeons and sort of fail miserably, and it's a sort of mockumentary about the filmmaking process and us sort of figuring things out as we go along.
I'm sure there was. Probably scheduling. I feel like we never stuck to our schedule, as it goes with student projects, and especially for our first one. We went definitely a lot of days over schedule, but my crew were very flexible and we had long shoots, but it worked out in the end.
I find it really weird because Jumpers for Goalposts is a very male-orientated script. It's a story about fatherhood and the responsibilities of fatherhood, and I feel I did it with a father and son dynamic because I feel more comfortable writing a father-son dynamic because I'm very close with my dad. The story actually got inspired by about 2 years ago. I lost my auntie to a major heart attack completely out of the blue, and basically it kind of just hit home that once people are gone, they're gone, and if you've got any friction between you guys, they can just go like that and you'll never resolve it. And it just kind of hit home, this whole thing of like life's too short to hold grudges, life's too short to waste and sacrifice them relationships with people when you can make up with them. So it was my auntie passing that kind of inspired that story. But then with my own relationship with my dad, which is a good relationship, I just felt more comfortable telling it in that dynamic. And then that whole and then it took on this whole extra body about fatherhood, and then like themes would just kind of come into it separately. But yeah, that's kind of where it stemmed from, basically.
I'll say inspiration-wise, I don't have inspirations because my films are better than anyone's, so like who am I going to be inspired by? So yeah, serious answer to that question, like Mean Girls.
Having had several conversations with the director, I can confirm that he does actually believe what he's saying.
So like we had the tracks, didn't we? It was just like a tracking shot, tracking back.
Yeah. So like that shot was like one of the first shots thought for the film, and like the film almost built around that shot. And so I was just adamant that had to be done. Like that, there's no excuses. That had to be made. Cameron found a way. So we were struggling originally because the ground, because we were shooting outside, it's very uneven and bumpy and all sorts. And Cameron, bless him, went out of his way and crafted like so many different like wedges and like boards and all this to kind of like create like a mini bridge for the track to work. And yeah, he managed to pull off the shot, and yeah, it's probably my favourite shot in the film, to be honest. So yeah.
I don't think people are going to like it. I hope I get a few laughs. I hope that people hate it, but they'll remember it. That's the point. They remember it. It's a memorable film.
I think people will definitely remember it because it speaks to something within all of us. I mean, everyone at some point has like lost their hand, or everyone has gone to a therapist at some point and had them beat them up. Whether they've paid for it or not. I think everyone's going to come out with it with a bloody good lease on life.
The dinner I had last night could go wrong through my bowels, but probably the projector. If the projector fucks up, then my life is fucked up. So
I mean, if people don't show, it's gotta be quite sad. It's gotta be us and a bunch of friends sat in a room watching Connor's films and trying to get to a bar tab. So
£500 we're making it.
And 4 people don't drink here, so we're gonna be quite difficult with this now.
I'd say I'm definitely nervous to see what the sort of public reaction is, because we've uploaded it to YouTube, but it's not like massively public at all. Definitely nervous to find out what people think. A few friends and family sort of said, "Oh, it's really, we really enjoyed it. It was good fun. I'm proud of you." But friends and family are always going to tell you that. So, I'm nervous, but I'm excited. It's something that I'm quite proud of, and we actually had a really good time making it. I think that's the important thing. It was really fun to make, and I think it's really good to be a part of this festival tonight.
I would say I never showed like my films to like bigger amount of people, so always nervous, just trying not to panic. And that was hard. So
I think it will go well. Everyone who has shown this film to likes it, so yeah.
So it's a weird one because like I get very anxious when people watch my work. I don't like watching my own films. So when my films are screening, you'll probably notice me just looking down at the floor, listening. I feel like it was received well. There was no boos, that's good. And some of the audience members came up to me afterwards and said they enjoyed it, which meant a lot. And at the end of the day, as lovely as it is for audience members to enjoy it and relate to it, like we tell these stories for ourselves at the end of the day. So as selfish as it might sound, we're just happy that we got to tell the story we wanted to tell. But the fact that audiences are responding so lovely to it is amazing as well.
I'd probably agree with that, and just always good to sort of get it in front of an audience and see the reaction. And there's always stuff you kind of cringe when you're watching it yourself, but sometimes when you're watching it in front of an audience, you kind of see it differently sometimes.
Yeah, I'm very nervous. Obviously it's like mostly my face in it, and there's a lot of parts of the film where people are supposed to laugh, so we're going to see if people actually do laugh. The viewing we had within the university, it ended up well. I think we got a lot of laughter out of that, so let's just hope it goes the same.
No.
Well, hopefully we could make an annual thing, get bigger and bigger each year, better and better, but depends how it turns out. This one depends if people turn up.
I 100% will do more. Obviously we want to do some poetry events, some more music ones, and some more film ones, because this is really big potential. We've got a lot of submissions, and I think for the next one it can only get bigger.
Mean Girls 2 fucking sucks. It's so bad. Have you watched Mean Girls 2? It's on Netflix. So bad. So if we work together again, Harvey, Mean Girls 2. 2.5. 2. The new 2. Ain't canon. I'm getting Jennifer... What's the actress's name in Mean Girls? What's the actress called in Mean Girls? Lindsay Lohan. I'm getting Lindsay Lohan back for number 2. That's all I'll say for now.
I will be the stunt double for Lindsay Lohan in Mean Girls 2. Failing that, direct my own wartime epic using real child soldiers. So, we spoke over the child soldiers, but that's probably for the best actually.
Well, my plan for the future really at this point is to work Monster and Me round the sort of short film festival circuit. I've put it into a lot of film festivals, so we'll see how that goes. And in the future, I kind of want to sort of keep on doing short horrors specifically. I have a script lined up that I'm hoping to get started with in the new year. So yeah, that's the plan.
So projects in the pipeline. I'm gonna have to say, well, we've got obviously, more university projects always. Things always coming on. I am working on an experimental short at the moment that I am again directing, and so hopefully there'll be more to come of that, more to see of that. I'll be able to share that at some point. But other than that, I'd say me and sort of my group of friends, we're working on a project, a fiction film, probably a comedy, I'd say. Working on that at the moment, and hopefully you'll be able to hear more about that in the new year. Yeah.
I'm definitely willing to go outside that genre when it comes to freelance stuff. Like if I'm working for someone else, then I'll do anything. I love documentary, I love drama. But as far as like my own personal projects go and the scripts that I want to write, I think horror is the way for me. It's just what I'm fascinated by. I love using practical effects. Like I have another short film where I got to do a graphic like slit on someone's arm, and I just loved making that and loved making the fake blood. So yeah, personally horror is for me, but I'm completely willing to go outside that, it's just whatever's interesting, isn't it?
I think it's going as well as a university film does go, trials and tribulations, people, about as unprepared as a student film gets, but it's quite exciting. I think we've got some really fun, creative ideas, and the fact that it is intentionally experimental means that we're trying things that you wouldn't normally try, which is always exciting. So yeah, I think it's going well, but as with all things, it probably could be going better, but we're having a good time.
So probably other things, like we're at uni, we're a third year at Liverpool John Moores, so we've got a group project that we're doing together where we're projection mapping right now, so it's very hard. We're having to project onto objects and stuff, but that's not horror at all. It's nature themed to that. And then we've got other we do photography a lot as well, so we've got we do a lot of portrait photography, so we've got that working together in the future as well. So yeah, lots planned.
So me and Cameron have another film showing here tonight. Yeah, so I wrote and directed The Fight that we're showing later tonight, and Cameron's worked with me basically on every short film for the last 3 years, would you say, or 2 years. So we've got The Fight, and then about 2 months ago we filmed we tried a genre piece, didn't we? And we tried doing a horror film, which is in post at the moment, and we just kind of pushing each other. We're not really. I feel like a lot of the films we do, because of no budget filmmaking, we often, as you'll see with The Fight, it's just it's human drama outdoors because we don't have access to locations and stuff. But one thing I feel if we get the chance, we do try to push ourselves, even if it's a new shot that we haven't tried or some sort of new genre that we haven't gone into. So we constantly look to build on that as we go forward with short films, and then hopefully we can tap into it going into features in the future. That's how I feel anyway.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. Always trying to push the boundaries and learn new things. Yeah.
Well, obviously I have a few productions on the go, experimental film coming up, and it's going to be amazing. I'm also a screenwriter. I do creative writing and film, so I have 3 screenplays that I would love to direct in the future. They're all kind of, well, actually I do have another comedy. 2 comedies, in fact. Yeah, one's quite controversial, so we'll see if that ever goes into production. But yeah, I would love to see my screenplays come to life at some stage. Well, I wrote it before the Queen died, and the Queen dies in this, and basically we had to write a screenplay based on a fairy tale, but modern day. So I wrote The Emperor's New Clothes, which is basically about an emperor getting nude in front of the public. So it involves the Prime Minister and the Queen dying and the Prime Minister being naked, so yeah.
I've got a film in the works. It's right in the script. Hopefully it will be done soon. Because I've done so much for you all, I am expecting you to all help me out. I'm joking, like, but obviously, yeah, but I am. Yeah, I know, that's the only thing I'm worried about. But like, but yeah, seriously, I'm hoping it comes out well.
If anyone wants to buy a Bear Culture magazine, where can they find one?
I know this one. You can buy it at the front desk of one of our lovely ladies who will be selling one for £3.
Also in the future, we'll be selling future issues in The Merchant, HMV, News from Nowhere. Looking forward to getting Bear out there. We're having a bear of a time.
Hello everyone, this is the closing credits to the documentary. I don't know if I'm editing it or not, so, but been a good one. Thank you, Harvey. Thank you, Frankie. Thank you, everyone who came. Thank you for everyone who submitted.
Positives. Really fun. I loved it. We've got possibly doing more in the future. I'm really happy with the outcome. Everyone was so warm and welcoming with it all, and everyone stayed, and everyone was really supportive of each other, which I loved. And there's Danny. I'm very happy with it all. Rolling the second one, I'm really happy with our crew and this little thing we've built so far. It's gonna grow, and we need to learn how to manage it. A lot of positives came out of this. Bit scared of what happened in the beginning. That got fixed. Thanks everyone for showing up and enjoying. If I had to pick a favourite film, I'd have to say, sorry, my mic's breaking out.
Thank you guys for coming. Bye.